Do you want to know what it's like to make $500,000 a year cleaning up dead bodies? Well, my friend we're gonna go get lunch with does exactly that. So let's go.
So before we go and meet up with Corey, I had to stop by the office and get on a call with our third partner in our newest venture, and the venture that we're going to launch here soon and we'll announce on the YouTube, but we're going to keep it quiet for now. And basically we're just going over how we're going to launch, what our offer is, what the price point is, how we're going to market it, what are our initial KPIs, right? How many appointments do we need booked per week? How many closes do we need per week to get to our target revenue goal, which is $100,000 in the first 30 days. So at the price point that we're offering our product at, we need 20 to 25 people enrolled in the first 30 days in order to achieve that. And so it's just kind of like a strategy / planning call.
Sweet. All right, man. Well, enjoy filming, because I think you guys are filming like an hour or something, but you guys enjoy, and yeah, I'll talk to you later. Jack, nice meeting you, buddy.
Nice meeting you, man. Talk to you soon.
All
All right. Peace.
Peace, bro.
I fucking love that guy. He fires me up, bro. Fucking every time I talk to him, fires me up, dude. I met him in the Discord. We have a Discord called Young Bootstrappers. Me and a couple other guys off Twitter started it back in like September, October. And I found him just lurking in the digital marketing section of our Discord. And I was trying to learn how to do Facebook ads. I'm like, yo, or YouTube ads. Like, can anyone teach me YouTube or Facebook ads? And he's like, yeah, let's hop on a call. And by the end of it, I was like, how do I pay you to work with me? And ever since then, every month, we've been working together, and now we're partners. So we've got this new offer we're working on. I'm really excited to launch it, but you'll be along for the journey on us going from actually starting to making money with it. So it'll be exciting. I've realized as I've progressed in business, a couple things. One, I really enjoy meeting other entrepreneurs because I love hearing about the cool shit that they're doing. So every week I make it a point to at least grab lunch once or twice a week with some of my entrepreneur buddies, because they're doing cool shit and you just never know what's gonna happen in business. So crazy things are always happening, and I love to hear about it. So that's why you always see me getting lunches. So a little bit more on networking. I have a few stories about kind of like the importance of networking and why there's a saying, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Everybody's heard it, but it's literally so true. And I'll tell you a couple stories. So the first one, I was gonna quit the window cleaning company when COVID hit because, one, it was raining. No one gets their windows cleaned while it's raining. Two, it was COVID. No one was coming out of their house. At the beginning of COVID, you remember what that was like. Everybody sheltered in their homes. No one was going anywhere. And nobody especially was letting someone into their house to clean their windows. So I was freaking out. And about a month in, I had a call with a mentor I met through Cal State Fullerton. I got connected with him through a professor of mine that happened to like me. So he actually convinced me not to quit. So it took one phone call. He said, look, dude, you only quit once, so really think about your decision. And I didn't quit. And thank God I didn't quit. And thank God I met him, because he convinced me not to. So that was the first one. And then the other one was I belong to a networking group called, or I used to, I don't really go anymore because I have to be there every week at a certain time, and I don't like to be places, or I don't like to feel confined to a schedule. So I don't go to that anymore, but I met someone there who was an insurance agent, and it's like a health insurance agent at that. What business do I have knowing that guy, or like what value does he really bring me? On the surface, you would think nothing. Well, he actually referred me to one of his clients who owned another window cleaning business that wanted to retire. We ended up buying his window cleaning company and added an additional probably $200,000 in sales to our top line. So you just never know. You never know who someone knows who they can connect you with. So it's really important. Third one is something called Entrepreneurs Organization. It's another organization I belong to, and I love EO. EO is short for Entrepreneurs Organization. To join EO, you have to have a business that does over $1 million in sales. You have to own 50% or more. And then there's Accelerator, where you have to own a business that does $250,000 or more in sales. And when our second year in the window cleaning company, we had about $42,000 in sales for the year. And it just so happened the president of EO at the time reached out to me on LinkedIn because I had my college and that I owned a business. And they were looking for student entrepreneurs to come speak and do this little competition they were hosting called GSEA. And in GSEA, you compete against other student entrepreneurs who have businesses. Well, me and Sergio went in there, only business with sales, but we were the only company that wasn't like a startup. So everybody was doing some techie thing, trying to, raise money or whatever. And little me and Sergio had our little window cleaning business at $42,000 in sales, and we got second place, which was total bullshit. We had the best speech by far, but they were looking for more startup-y stuff, which was fair enough. We got second place, but what they did was they said, we can give you a free membership to Accelerator. And so, like I said before, if you're listening, you have to be at $250,000 in sales to even join Accelerator. But at $42,000, they gave us an honorary membership and said, here, you can join. And I learned a ton in Accelerator. I met a ton of cool people. Some of the people, so the person we're about to sit down with to eat lunch right now, I met through Accelerator. And actually, no, I didn't meet him through Accelerator. I met him from Cal State Fullerton, but I got him into Accelerator. And just met tons of cool people and really learned how to actually scale and grow a business versus just working in the business and kind of owning a job. So Accelerator has been super beneficial, and just learning from my peers who are also running businesses and taking what they know and applying it to my industry has been super beneficial to just my life and business. So it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. That's it on networking. My buddy Corey, he runs a suicide cleanup and hoarding cleanup business. He just finished his first year, going into his second year now, but tell us how you did your first year, sales-wise.
I need a beer to talk about that. No, I'm just kidding. We did 538 first calendar year. And it was great. Margins were closer to the 40%. I think this year, because now we got it figured out. 40%, and this year we got things figured out a little bit more. We can start cutting costs. We had to buy a lot of equipment to start up. Now we got that. Now we're really not spending much. We got the staffing figured out, and most importantly, we got the, people are your most expensive expense, right? Is payroll and piso.
Cost of goods is the labor, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not a product, so your cost is putting people, humans, in place of, like in a product business would be your manufacturing costs or your shipping costs, whatever.
Yeah. And so people is our most expensive, expense for sure. You too, right?
Yeah. Same thing with window cleaning.
Any service, right?
Any service-based business is your main cost is humans and labor. So typically how it goes.
Should be too. I mean, they're the ones that do all the work, right? Yeah. And we just kick back. No, I'm just kidding. Kick back and collect. No, I'm just kidding. But so we finally got some systems in place where we're not going in as much overtime. I don't have as many guys on jobs because we know how to do the job. So being able to cut back on that's really starting to boost up the business. And you get the right people in place. We know how important it is to have the right staff. Our industry is a revolving door because it's so brutal, whether it's physical brutal or mentally brutal. So revolving door industry for sure. Probably you too a little bit.
What do you mean by revolving door?
Like in and out. Like this guy will work here for a week, he's out. It could be a couple months, they're out.
That's so typical of these businesses because things like, not necessarily what you do, it is a lower cost business to start, but something like window cleaning is like extremely low capital. Right. So think about the barrier to entry, right? Super easy barrier to entry. And then so it tends to attract a certain level of talent. And so this is the talent pool you have to deal with as a business owner. And you have to manage these people, and these are types of people who are jumping from job to job, can't hold a job for too long. So it's really hard to find quality people that are going to stick with your business and help you scale and grow. So when you do find someone good, you want to hold on to them.
Well, yeah, and you can't be picky, right? Yeah. If I get somebody that's slightly interested, I want them on the team, which is like, they can kind of take advantage.
Especially in your case, dude. I can't imagine finding anybody that would be interested in cleaning up piles of poop paper off a freaking toilet.
I showed Johnny some pictures and he loved it, so. Good thing we just ate, huh?
Give me a test one. Yeah, thank God you didn't show
Get you a shot or something like that, you can get over it quicker. Dude, there's Yeah, there's, I don't know, you can even think of the dumbest business ever and you can make, not even the dumbest, it's cool if you're making money, right?
Yeah.
Shoot,
Dude,
you have your
I've
own
heard
life.
about the dumbest business ever making
What is
money.
it?
I told him about it. Dude, so I have some buddies that I want you to meet.
Yeah.
that we were
Oh, you
dealing
told me
with
about them?
Wednesday,
Yeah.
They're brothers. They own a fencing company and a landscaping company. And they were put in an offer on a deal
Yeah.
in LA. And it was a business that does plant water.
Yes, dude.
So all they do is like, like plants like this,
Yeah.
or office plants and stuff.
Yeah,
They need maintenance, dude. They need to be
they
watered.
do, and they have to look pretty.
The employees don't do it.
I used to have that at the
out-
restaurant.
They have a company come
Yeah.
in to water the plants, dude, doing just over $1 million a year.
Dude, we had a guy, because I worked in the restaurant, same thing. And they'd come like, I don't know, once a week. They'd work on the planters, they'd pull it out. And we're like, these guys get paid for this? Like,
Yeah, dude,
I don't know that
it's
it pays
wild.
well, but good for them. That's
They're
cool.
making $1 million.
How many,
Watering
what's their like
plants.
model look like? Like, how many employees? Like, what's their margins?
It's very few employees.
What-
Like one employee can take care of a big route.
What's
So,
their territory like?
I think their margins were at like 35 or 40%, if I remember.
How do they charge?
I have no idea. He just told me briefly
Per
about
plant?
it. Yeah.
10 bucks a plant?
10 bucks a plant.
Well, there's people that walk dogs. There's people that pick up dog crap.
I know a guy in my neighborhood. He's pretty loaded. I don't know how much rev he's doing, but he owns a boutique dog hotel in Huntington Beach.
Badass.
And I was walking my dog, my Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
And he stopped me. He's like, "Oh, it's a beautiful dog." He's like some Australian guy. And I always ask, like, my go-to question for strangers is, "What do you do for work?"
Right.
And then he got telling me about it, and I was like, "That's dope." And so now that he told me that, I see his wrapped van. He's got like his hotel right there, like all wrapped up.
I always
Van.
love those, man. It's a good model. I have seen stuff where like you can bring in your cat and like it's like cat tea tasting. Like you go there with your cat and you're tea tasting with your buds and stuff.
Yeah, there are those. I've seen those too, guys. Yeah.
You can make money doing anything. I think it comes down to like marketing and
Just supply and demand, dude.
yeah.
The craziest, another crazy one that I've been seeing on TikTok is people are so lazy, but it's amazing. It's these guys roll around with vans, and there's 2 treadmills in the vans for dogs. So people let their dogs go into the van,
No.
and they show up to their house, and the dogs just run on the treadmill.
What is
Like,
that called?
I don't know.
It's like a Shark Tank
It's
idea,
literally like
dude.
an exercise.
That's for sure a Shark Tank idea.
Absolutely.
To charge high prices in your field.
Because you feel bad about it, because you know the things you're dealing with are wild, right? And you don't want to, after you clean up something like that, you come, like right now we're going back for some guy, his wife or girlfriend, long story a little bit, but she shot herself or whatever, and now, we have to show compassion, right? You have to show that you care, which we do. We really do care, and we're really trying to help him out through hard times, but then you got to get paid for it. So now we're like, send him the invoice, like, hey man, what's going on over here? Like, did you get the invoice? And you're trying to, so I have my assistant now doing it, and she calls in saying this is the billing department, because if they talk to me and I'm like, oh, like on the phone, it's like I'm super compassionate, like, oh my gosh, like must be really hard. And I don't say that because I don't try to empathize too much, but I know it's a tough situation. Because you can't really say that I understand what you're going through, because like you might not be able to. And it's probably the worst day of his life, or close to, at least up to that point, probably. So, but you're real soft, you have to talk real slow, and it's like, hey, we're gonna help you get through this. And then you show that care, and then later on you have to chase down your money, and you're like, hey dude, like, did you get that invoice? yeah, and it's high price, and we're low usually, which kind of sucks, but we're working on getting up there because we have to be competitive, and we're the best compared to our competitors. Competitors are trash. They don't care about anyone they encounter. It's profit. They see dollar signs, which I guess is business, but we want that reputation of helping people on their worst day, you know what I mean, the hardest time of their lives. So, but yeah, I don't like we've had a couple where they just don't want to pay, and you're like, man, my staff has to go through that hard stuff to go through. We have to go through that. The cleanup process, sometimes they're coming out in the middle of the night And it's like, you called us and you don't want to pay for services? It blows my mind. Any of that. It's like, you wanted this afterwards, you were so grateful, but now you don't want to pay your bill? You have to deal with it too.
Not really.
People pay? Because you get it right then, huh?
Yeah.
Because we can't get it right then.
Charge the card right there. So, and we're probably a lot lower ticket than you are. We're doing jobs like $300, $400, $500.
Right.
Yours are like probably minimum 1,000, right, to go clean up.
Basically a minimum. Sometimes we'll, basically a minimum, yeah. So I worked at this place. It was called Local Lighthouse. It was one of the first companies that I've heard of, and I think it even says that was sued by Google for impersonating Google. So what they used to do was they call it a P1 campaign, where they'd send out a dialer to 1,000 whatever,
Reps?
people,
Or
1,000 businesses.
Oh,
They'd
okay.
get a list of them, and they're just sending it out. And so you would press 1 to talk to an operator, press 2 to take you off the list, which they never take you off the list, by the way, if you press 2. So then,
I always tell them take me off the list, and they still fucking call me, dude.
well, when you say take me off the list, or you put yourself on a do not call list, it really puts you on a to call list. So you basically get more fucked if you do that. So just don't put your number, your website, nothing anywhere, because you go,
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know,
And
man.
for like 6 months you're covered, and then after that they sell that list, and you're just gonna get blown up. But the dialer would send out to your phone, and it says, hey, it was B2B, so press 1, your Google profile is in jeopardy, press 1 to speak with a representative. There was a couple different versions of the dialer, because, it got played out, and I think the second one was like, oh, update your Google listing, press 1, or something along those lines. The profile in jeopardy was the best one, because people would push 1 or whatever and be so concerned, like, what's up with my Google profile, blah, 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 like, could you change it? And you go, oh, yeah, let me just take a look here. And then what we would do is dial in their phone number, because we had no idea who it was. You Google their phone number, and then a lot of times it will show who the business is, and sometimes it doesn't, so you have to fish to see who they are. Like, oh, yeah, so, John, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not John. I was like, oh, I thought you were John. Is John one of your business partners? Then you get it out of them what their business is. But, dude, it's so scammy. Anyways.
How many did you close?
You have days where, so it's commission based. You either make, so you'd either make 200 a sale or 100 a sale. And the reason you would only make 100 is if you had to drop your own price. So if they were pushing back, oh, it's just too expensive, can't afford it. And if you really had to, you drop your price to it. Well, let me see if I can get my manager involved and get you a discount. And you just like put them on hold.
Wait a little bit.
Yeah, wait a little bit. Hey, he's willing to do this. They never do this, but he's willing to take off $100 because he sees a real opportunity for your business or whatever. But yeah, they would press 1 because oh, your Google profile's in jeopardy. They go, what's going on? And they press 1, and you get an operator, and they go, oh, and then you would Google their phone number, you find out what their business is, and whether they were showing up at the first page of Google or not, you would say, hey, did you know that your business wasn't showing up on the first page of Google? They go, what? Yes, J&J Plumbing's up there. Have you heard of them? Like, they're in town, or they're one of our competitors. Well, they're getting a lot more business because they're on the first page. Did you know that we have a spot available for you to get on the first page? And it's just basically selling them SEO,
Such
a scam
bullshit,
SEO.
dude. Anybody ever calls you and says they can get you on the first page of Google, it's a load of crap, dude. It's so hard to get ranked organically on the first page of Google.
And it was garbage. It was like some garbage landing page website, and they would just use those keyword-rich content. And it was $200, which goes straight to you. And then after that was reoccurring, though. They crushed it, and then they got sued.
They're probably printing money.
Oh, dude, when I got there, they opened up like 2 offices in a matter of months. 2 offices, they upped like 200 employees, and then just crash and burn though. So
They're
that
not
was
open
wild.
anymore?
Oh, dude, they pretty much, in the 6 months or 7 months I was there, done, just done. So this guy was, this was the one he was trying to rip the phone out of his wife's hand. We're trying to collect from him right now. So there's brain matter right there. He was trying to rip the phone out of her, or the gun out of her hand. Gunshot in the ground, still fighting for it, and she did it right on him. Super sad.
Bro. How you're not like fucked up from seeing all this stuff is beyond me, dude.
You have to find it like fun, you know, almost fun and funny. Not funny, but check this out, dude. This one's awesome. That's a toilet right there.
Look at that, dude.
So you
What is that?
so you see on top. So there's the toilet, and then that's all poop rags and stuff on top. So this is like this is the new guys.
Bro, how do you
all
not-
these boxes are full of poop.
Shit.
Yeah, so you're just taking shits in the boxes. You could kind of see right there. There's like toilet paper and stuff. Because the toilet didn't work, right?
Dude, you guys stop showing me that. I'm gonna fucking throw
You
up.
just
It's
ate,
so
dude.
gross. That's the worst you showed me yet, bro.
You think so?
Oh my god.
Oh man, I
yes.
got a few like that. That's not the first one like that. I actually feel like a lot of them, like a lot of the toilets in the house are jacked. I don't know what this is right now, but that one's pretty gnarly. I actually don't remember what this one was.
Oh,
Let me see.
that's that blood?
Yeah.
I wonder if we could show this on YouTube.
I think it was 700 square foot. This is the bed where somebody was sleeping, so you could see the bed frame. This was, I believe, the living room. So it's literally knee deep plus with stuff, trash, and nothing. Those are wine boxes up there, so they drank. This one's great. This is the toilet here, and next to the toilet, this is the bathtub, stacked to the roof with toilet tissue. All these water bottles and things are filled up with urine and feces. You can see here, this is the hands. So from holding themselves when they're trying to walk. So you go here, another shot of that. And then same again, there's the toilet, there's the mound of toilet paper. And then here's on the way. So what she was using was water bottles, and there's 2 gallon, this is all feces and urine there. Those 5 gallon buckets were just filled to the brim with feces and urine. So it was a beautiful, so those are hands. So that's from walking, because they can't walk without falling. So that's where they brace themselves on the wall. That's the front door. So you see that we couldn't even open the door all the way. I don't know what that is, food plates. This is the kitchen over here. So we couldn't even see the kitchen during our estimate. It was stacked to the roof, literally stacked to the roof. Place was 700 square foot. I think it took us 5 days. Just gnarly.
And what'd that run?
It was about 15,000, but that's with disposal, with the biohazard disposal, PPE, the staff. So it should have been, just based on how gross it was with the biohazard, probably should have been in the 20, 25, because it was so gnarly. But, you know, we didn't know, and that's the hard thing too, is you give an estimate, and it always sucks to have to raise your price. What do you think about that? Having to raise your price after you give an estimate?
Well, what we do, it's a little different. You have like a lot more variables. We like, if I give a bid, I know it's gonna be accurate, like 99% of the time. And if it's not, we let them know. Like, the only way it can go wrong is if there's paint and they
On the
want it
windows.
removed, or some type of construction debris like stucco or whatever, concrete, or if they give us the wrong window count. But the way we get over that is telling them, look, if the window count's different, or if the window count's different, the technician's gonna raise price, because the first thing he does when he gets there is count the windows, and we're only removing dirt and dust. We're not removing any types of construction-related debris. If you want them removed, it's gonna be an additional cost.
Do you cover that in a proposal, so then they're not trying to hound you? They say, oh, well, you never said that. You said that.
Yeah, I mean,
windows
it's
are
every
clean."
estimate we send out, we normally just close over the phone, but when we do send out bids, it is written in there.
What about for Molly and a mop? How do you
Marrying them up.
marry and a mop? Damn.
Molly and a mop. Molly and a mop is it's like disorganized at the moment, just because it's like 45 days old, so we're still working on new systems. There's a lot of kind of nuance there still that we're figuring out, and like the best practices and ways to do things.
Because you're gonna
Window
run into
cleaning, we've
that
been doing
more.
it for 5 years, so we have everything set in stone, but marrying a mop's like 45 days in or whatever. All right, guys, well, that's it for this one. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Our upload cadence is going to be every Tuesday and Friday, so look out for those videos twice a week, and follow us on TikTok.